Coming up this week on the show, we're going to review the 2013 that was. All the best and worst technology and gaming-related items. Google Glass, Battlefield 4, and more. We also talk about CES 2014. All that and more coming up this week. Geek Gamer Weekly is brought to you by our very own Roku app for Geek Gamer TV. You can go back and watch the back catalog of Geek Gamer Weekly, Minecraft Me, our specials from PAX Prime, E3, and soon-to-be CES 2014. To grab that app today, go to ggtv.me/Roku. This is Geek Gamer Weekly, episode 252, recorded Sunday, December 29th, 2013. The 2013 year in review. Hey everybody, welcome again to another edition of Geek Gamer Weekly. This is the Uber podcast for geeks and gamers. Welcome to our 2013 year in review show. And I am very happy to be moving on to 2014. Believe you and me, this year has sucked. You can take that to the bank. My name is Chase Nunes. I'm leading this escapade, if you will, of technology misfits. Joining us this week, John Kessler. Hey, John.
Yes.
How are you?
Just ducky.
And how was your holiday?
Good.
And we'll talk about Christmas real quick here in a minute, and Boxing Day and all the other great days.
All the fun stuff.
Also joining us, as usual, from the confines of the beautiful state of Oregon, Mr. Joseph Falby. Hey, Joe.
Hey,
you got some new gifts behind you as well.
I do. I have a couple things that I added. Yes.
And joining us this week as well, he's been on the show, and he's also going to be doing a lot more with GGTV in 2014, Mr. Jace Rossi. Hey, Jace, how are you, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
First rule of business is we're going to have to change your name because it's too close to Chase.
All right, let's see. We'll think of a good name. Well, let the chat room name me.
That might be scary.
How about we call him Pursuit?
I like it.
Pursuit Rossi.
Pursuit Rossi. And now for the patented worldwide, it's now registered trademark, the 4-wide quad shot. Yay, hi. And center there, we don't have a center square. We don't have a center square like zooming in, and stuff. Well, obviously, holidays were last week, Christmas, Boxing Day, all wrapped into a nice, tidy week. Had a very good week. My wife got me a really cool bike computer for Christmas. I got her a double-edged razor. No, you guys stop. But what did you guys get? I mean, I want to start with John. I'm going to just go ahead and lead off with John because John, you got something very, very cool for the holidays.
Yes.
Why don't you grab it real quick?
All right.
Go ahead. No one sees you yet. As you notice, the camera's not on you. I'm stalling for you to get it.
Is it an upgraded Itronic tweezer?
It is not. No, I'm going to show it now. There it is. John got, and this thing's cool. It's almost a foot long Volkswagen bus Lego set. And it's all inclusive too. I mean, the camper pops open, the windows pop open. Inside, you can even make yourself a cup of coffee, have breakfast. It's very, very cool. Who got that for you, John?
My brother.
That is really, really cool.
I gotta go this side, I guess.
Yeah.
The one thing is, I was like, they couldn't put 3 more pieces in there and made an elite set. All they needed was 3 more pieces and it would have been elite.
Yeah. Yeah, now you notice it said 16 and above, John, but you haven't started that yet. Is there a reason?
I got to find a 16-year-old to help me.
Whoa. Oh, man. Oh, stop. Not good. Just, no.
The other one is the shirt. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Well, you can kind of stand up. Oh, very nice. Very cool. Joe, what'd you get for the holidays?
Well, we got a few things. One thing I talked about at the Minecraft show are these two Lego sets, which are the newer Minecraft Lego sets. One's the Nether, and the other one is Forest. Oh, Village. Sorry, the Village. The other thing I got, which is we have a Lego thing going here. I don't know what it is actually this one.
What? Oh,
This is and I assemble my Legos. Well, some of them anyway.
oh,
This is the Back to the Future DeLorean. Yeah, there it is, and it even has the working going doors.
Nice.
So complete detail. You can see the flux capacitor in the back.
oh,
there.
yeah, sure do.
So yeah. So definitely cool. But yeah, I got this and a couple other things. But yeah, this I put together Friday, I think. I don't remember. But it's kind of cool. You can actually modify it. So right now it has the rotating wheels for Back to
that's
the
so
Future
cool.
Part 2 and
That's
everything.
cool.
Yeah. So
What are you doing over there, John? You're getting real cash. You're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
I'm
driving.
just gonna hang out over here.
Yeah.
What about you? What are we calling you, Jossie?
Oh no.
Well, any neat items for Christmas or Boxing Day?
Actually, I got a new gaming PC. It just hasn't come yet.
Oh, really? What do you? So you're? I know you're an AMD guy right now. So
Not no more.
Not anymore. What'd you do? What'd you pick up?
I got the new i7 4770K.
4770. That really rolls off the tongue so well. Is that like a Ford Taurus in computer terms? What? I would love to. I would love to know. What's that equate to in the car
So the
world?
4770K is like the it's not quite their full-on enthusiast proc, but it's getting there. It's above average. It's probably where the best price point is right now.
So yeah.
So
Jason.
it'd be like the stealth sports car
Oh,
of the so it's not it is not like all out look at what I have have a
Right.
Ferrari. It's
Yeah.
it's a little more subdued, a little bit, but it'll still get the job done.
fair enough.
So,
And
you
what kind of graphics did
It's
you
not a Ford Taurus.
end up going with?
I
Jossie?
got a Jossie. I got a NVIDIA GeForce 780 Ti.
780 T. Wow,
Nice.
very nice. Yeah. No. Yeah, that's cool.
With
anybody-
9,000 gigs of RAM.
9,000 gigs.
32.
32.
Wow.
Jace wants to have a gaming rig that can also stream to Twitch that will also be on a delay. So
Big delay.
huge delay. So it happens. No, that's cool. For me, I guess technically, if you want to call them, they were early Christmas gifts. I got the lights for the studio to help make me look more natural, I guess, if that's a relative thing. The new website launched on Friday, so that was right around Christmas, and that was a Christmas gift in the making, if you will. The one gift, though, that I really, really wanted, a new job, hasn't happened. So I'm going to go cry now. So there we go. There is our gifts. Now, let us put our let's go in the time machine, if you will, to kind of do a throwback to Joe's DeLorean there. Let's jump into the time machine, and now let's head back to the past that 2013 was. There was a lot of great tech and gaming items, and we're going to talk about them. But let's first talk about the worst. Let's talk about the ones that, while we had maybe some positive expectations for, they just sucked. Either they didn't sell well, they weren't usable, or both. John, I want to start with you.
Oh, that's
What? Yeah, we're going to start with you. What was your worst tech or gaming item for 2013?
I picked Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4.
Yes.
Why?
Worst because
Yeah.
even though yes they sold a gazillion copies across all the platforms,
Yeah.
because it was an unready piece of crap.
Explain. I mean, like,
explain.
like, what are some of the issues that you've been running into with Battlefield 4 that makes it crap for you? Makes it the worst gaming item of 2013?
Sound issues.
Okay, yeah, that's one. That's,
Yep.
where-
Which everybody's experienced.
Yeah, where you could be in the game and then someone fires a weapon in a certain way with a silencer, then kills the sound for everybody.
Yeah,
Which doesn't make sense because I don't understand the technology behind that happening, but okay. What else? I mean, come on, John.
crashes.
You get. I mean, here they even present 64 reasons why you should be playing the best first person. This. I mean, come on, John. Everybody says here. All the reviewers are saying. I mean, look. You get battle packs. You can 64 player maps. I mean. Incredible field upgrades. I mean, John, why does this suck?
Because all kinds of things look good on paper. It's the execution of that is what really.
Yeah, that's true. It hurt the stock price.
I mean,
did.
yeah, to the point where they're into three brain fart. They're going class action suits against three. Yeah, they're going to court in 3 different arenas.
Yeah.
Over that, but the funny thing is, that's not for the shareholders. That's for the shareholders. It's not for the gamers.
I gotta say, John, I'm more inclined to probably agree with you on this. I mean, it's been fun to play, and I've loved playing with you guys. And by the way, David Miller finally got an upgraded graphics card. I think he got a 650 or a 660 or something, and so he can now finally play above 30 frames a second. And so he's actually playable, and he says he's good. He's got a USB headset, so he's ready to game with us now, finally.
Finally.
Joe, would you agree Battlefield 3?
Or 4.
4, sorry.
3, sir.
3 is all right.
Yeah.
4, would you agree worst game in the worst list? Does it belong there?
I don't know that I can say it was the worst of 2013. But
me,
it definitely is problem riddled. The fact that it crashes, maybe a third of the time when you're changing maps.
Oh, jeez.
It seemed like at least it's that often. There, of course, is no dedicated server support. I mean, big surprise. I still am. It's not quite, but it's getting to the point of if you don't buy Season Pass, you might as well just stop playing after it's been out for a month because of how quickly they drop their expansions and DLCs. So, I can understand why John put it in the list here. I get it. I agree on some respects, but I also think there are worse things than Battlefield 4 that came out this year. And most of them are in our list.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I kind of lean more on the side of negative than positive for Battlefield 4. While I've had good experiences playing with friends and blowing things up, the negatives have been overwhelmingly gone over the positives at this point. What about you, Jace? I'll let you have the final word on Battlefield 4. Good, bad, disagree, agree?
Well, I mean, the game is pretty good. I mean, it's fun to play, but I've had so many problems with it, I stopped playing it.
Oh. But not any longer, though, because you're going to have that meaty machine, and you're going to have to put it through its paces, though, right?
Exactly. Hopefully it clears up some things for me.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Well, since we're on you, Jace, what is your worst item of 2013?
Okay, I picked the Nintendo 2DS.
Really?
I don't know how. Yes, I did.
Whoa.
I don't know
Okay.
how well it sold or how many units it sold or anything like that.
Right.
But I just think from a design standpoint, this thing is horrible.
Okay, explain.
Look at it. It looks like a wedge of cheese.
Okay.
You can't put that in your pocket. Like, I use a DS. I've used a 3DS. This thing does not fit in your pocket, no matter where it's supposed to be portable. I mean, I'm not going to carry this around.
Okay.
It's stupid.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, look, all right. I mean, you look at this here. I think this is made for kids. This is made for kids that are, I mean, look, those are kid hands that just put it on the machine there. I mean, it's so, you have everything on one screen. Actually, they used literally one screen. They just kind of split it up into two different portions.
No.
I don't know if I agree with you, Jace. I mean, I don't know if I would consider it the worst. It plays an incredible library of games. It's very, very cheap. It's $2.99. Has a very.
It feels cheap.
Have you felt one? Or $129. Have you felt one, Jace?
Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to the DS or the 3DS, it feels very cheap. Like if a kid actually dropped this on a floor, I think it would break.
Yeah. Well, as Jay Huckabee is saying in our chat room, kids don't care about the form factor. It's totally for kids. And that's what I think. I think it's for kids to get involved with Nintendo gaming in a simple form factor that they don't have to worry about really breaking that, that hinge.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is there was a lot of issue when the 3DS first came out with if it was going to stunt young eye development, the 3D screen.
Yeah.
And this totally alleviates that particular problem.
Mm-hmm. So, Joe, would you agree? Worst of 2013?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, Jace. You're going to, I know we have 4 people here. So I'm going to say no. I don't think it's the worst either. So John is either going to make this a draw or he's going to make this, we're going to kick it off the list. John?
I'm going to abstain.
That means, well, by abstaining, you're creating that we're kicking it off the list. Sorry, Jace. It's not the worst.
Okay.
It's not the worst of 2013, but I bet
you might as well vote to kick it off the list, John. Otherwise, you're showing you have no opinion. On
Okay, it's bad.
And
It's
John,
bad.
by the way, by voting against it, as Joe asked you to vote against it, we can see how easily susceptible you are.
No, I said it's
so-
terrible.
right.
It stays on the list.
Oh, it stays on the list. Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's terrible, so it stays on the list.
Yep, it's a terrible
Fair
idea.
enough. All right, Joe. We know that
Yeah.
you're a man of great opinions. That's why I love having you on the show. What is your worst of 2013, my friend?
Well, the funny thing about this is what I was going to put on the list for worst of 2013 is actually someone else put it on the best list. So, so we'll deal with that when we get to it.
Yeah.
But I actually put 2 things on there. One thing I put on there is Windows RT, which didn't technically come out in 2013, but I think is close enough that it should count. And the reason I picked it is Windows RT looks just like Windows 8. It runs just like Windows 8. It feels just like Windows 8, but it's not Windows 8. You can't run anything other than store apps on it. You can't do a whole lot of the other things that you can do with Windows that people have come to rely on and depend on. So I think it's a stupid product. Microsoft is muddling their own market, and I think they're doing a terrible job with it. But people are like John, easily susceptible. Ooh, $320 for a tablet that runs
Nothing.
Office.
Nothing.
Yeah. Is all they're really seeing. And I think it was a mistake on Microsoft's part to put it out. And time will only tell.
Hey, I didn't run out and buy one of those
Why not?
because they're stupid.
Why? I'm not going to let you get away from this one, John. Why? I want some meat here. Tell me why.
Everything that Joe just said.
Oh God, that is such a cop out, man.
Well, it's true. Is it not true?
Can you come up with something that Joe didn't say?
It doesn't.
Or my list was just so thorough that there are very few gaps in it. Is that what it is, John?
The price point.
The price point?
Yeah.
You hate the price point?
Yeah.
You hate the price point?
Yeah.
How much would
You
you
think
pay?
it's too much or too little?
It's too much for something that doesn't do anything. $50.
Oh my God. And now
So
we know.
that was one thing I picked, Windows RT.
All right.
And
Yeah.
I don't care what form it's in, whether it's the Surface RT or not. The other one I picked is the Samsung Galaxy Round, which came out pretty late this year and didn't really land with much fanfare, but is completely pointless. It's the first, I swear they pushed it out just so they could have this headline. It's the first phone with a curved display. But if you look closely, it's curved the wrong way.
It's curved in a weird way.
It's curved from one side to the other. It should be curved from top to bottom because that would more closely match your face if that was the intent.
Except for if you put it in your back pocket, it's curved.
And look at this. You can
around-
see this video
Yes.
here. You can
Yeah.
see how
It's not curved very much. Like I said, I think this was just we want to have the first curved screen phone because Samsung is very rare at being the first at anything. So, congratulations, Samsung. You have the first pointlessly curved cell phone.
But when you hold it in your hand, it curves to your hand.
Right.
I can't get that on the camera, but oh well.
Now, if they'd come out with a screen with a flexible phone, right, that had the mythical flexible screen we've seen in sci-fi for decades at this point, that would have been awesome.
True.
But no, this is just slightly. It's like a Galaxy, but the screen is slightly curved in the wrong direction. I still don't really get it. But yeah, I think it was a failure. I think it was a mistake on Samsung's part. And that is why it's in my list of worst.
I have to agree with you, Joe. First off, didn't even know about it. It makes the list there. That's number one. Number two, what makes it any better than even an HTC One or an iPhone 5S other than the curved screen? Does it have more CPU? Is it more snappier? Does it have more memory? Other than this,
it's just curved.
It's just What's the point in that? Really,
it's an S4,
right? Yeah,
that's curved.
Wow.
And I want to point out for all the people who know that I'm an Apple fanboy out there, I'm not even talking about it being an Android phone. It wouldn't matter if it was running Android or not. Apple could have released a phone that was curved this way, and I would still say it was stupid.
I was just gonna say, yeah, if Apple released it, you'd be like, oh, this is amazing. It's the best phone in the world. It fits your hand so perfectly.
I would I would be dismayed as my stock dropped.
But Joe, they're hands-on on the curve.
Was that the dry joke of the day?
Yes.
I totally missed that one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think okay.
Yes.
And imagine cases being terrible for this thing too. I mean,
you can fit it in your back pocket. It'll be nice and comfortable till you sit down and try to curve it the other direction and it cracks.
Or curves over the front of your leg though. I mean, that's what it's for. Jace Rossi, it's already 3-0 here, so your vote wouldn't matter at this point. Sorry, but what? Agree?
Totally agree.
Yeah, fair enough.
What he said.
All right, my worst list. I picked a couple of items. First one is kind of a no-brainer. Talking in the gaming world is SimCity. This game had a lot, and I mean a lot of just huge PR. A lot of people were excited when we went to E3 back in 2012. We saw a preview of this, and we were excited.
Yeah, it's probably the most hyped and anticipated game since Spore.
Oh, well, this game, while we were excited, was riddled huge with issues. One of them being that that constant DRM, where you needed to be always connected, and if you lost your connection after, I think it was like 15 minutes, it would just kick you out. You're done. Not only that, there was multiplayer where you can exchange between different cities, and that's great and all, but city sizes were small. They eventually, of course, added in updated features like freeways and terrain management and things like that. Not just freeways, I'm sorry, but being able to take freeways, overpasses and underpasses and stuff. But and I still have it, and I will play it occasionally, but still no true offline play. City sizes are not getting any bigger. They've already said that they can't make them bigger. It's just not there.
Except for the hackers who modified the game and were able to make offline play and bigger city sizes.
Exactly. Yes. John, what were you going to say?
I just
than EA's program.
I was gonna say now who made this game?
This was EA and Maxis.
No.
Yeah. Which EA owns Maxis now. They're not they're not the Maxis of old. I mean, I was going to suggest if you want to play a good SimCity game, go play SimCity 4. You can have huge worlds or cities, sorry. And it's lots of fun. It really, really is. The old SimCity. The new SimCity, while yes, it's polished and it looks graphically better and you can zoom in right down to the street level, cities are really, really small. You still have to be constantly connected. I'm sorry, it made my worst list. Do you guys agree or disagree with that? No?
I agree.
I agree. I actually think a good alternative, if you're into it, is Cities XL.
Yeah.
I think that's a fantastic game and available on Steam as a bonus. So if you really want to feed that SimCity playtime, go give that one a try.
I mean, I understand that there are a lot of positive aspects of the game that, yes, we have a modern SimCity again. But man, I think they really dropped the ball. And not only that, it was subject to delays. I mean, don't forget that as well. So, and a promotional beta period that didn't seem to do anything. Because when it launched, no one could play it. So,
kind of like another game.
like what, John?
Like Battlefield 4.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of sensing a trend with EA's titles.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other and I'm trying to pull it up here. Here it is right here. The other one is a technology related item that I felt was one of the worst of 2013. And this is Samsung once again. They're trying to be first to the market with something. Now Pebble
well like 5th or 6th
yeah.
at this point.
I mean, Pebble has a great EA watch, and I think it's great. Especially how it connects into your phone, Android, iOS. It works
to almost any phone.
to almost any phone. Unless you had a Samsung Galaxy Gear watch, that made my worst of 2013. Now, you may be thinking, all right, well, it's a watch. It's got a nice color screen with a fixed band that is non-user replaceable. But that's not all. At the time when it was released, this watch would only work with 2 phones, I believe. It was the Note 3 and the S4. That was it. I could be wrong. But another thing, too, it's very, very poor battery life. Oh, and one final thing. John, did you know how much this thing cost?
I did not, but you're going to tell us.
$299. $299 for this thing.
And you could buy a phone for that.
You can buy multiple Pebbles. One for you and one for a friend.
I think the Pebble's $150 right now at Best Buy. Yeah.
So that makes my worst list. I mean,
the thing looks huge on this.
It is.
It's
big. Look at that. It's huge. It's a big watch that doesn't do much. And only works with a couple of devices. You know?
I think they expanded it out to 4 devices now.
Ooh, really?
I mean, they're all Samsungs, but
yeah.
I believe they expanded it out to 4 devices.
Yeah.
Which is still
now don't
not
forget
very many.
And don't forget, Joe, you can also take pictures with it as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I hope you get like a free dinner before they screw you.
Well, actually, one of the things I thought was the most hilarious is it's a watch, right? You're
Yeah.
supposed to put it on your wrist and wear it all the time because it's a watch.
Yeah.
With like 8 to 10 hours of battery life.
Yeah.
Okay. 8 to 10 hours.
I don't get that part.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got to get home from work real quick. My watch is going to die.
Yeah, my watch is going to run out of batteries. I better go charge it because it's been on for 8 hours.
You know what's worse, right? If you get a phone, or I'm sorry, a watch that doesn't outlast your phone. My watch is dead, but at least my phone's still going.
Yeah.
See, when they first announced it, I was hoping we'd get some like serious Dick Tracy action. You know?
Really? You wanted
You know,
a
video-
little antenna,
little video calling.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Now you just get seriously dicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was and this is, I think Samsung is they're becoming the EA of the cell phone world. They're trying to push stuff out as fast as they can so that they can claim they were first to market with one.
You know what they're going to have
And
next?
it ends up being a subpar product.
They're going to have a curved watch. It's going to
That would actually
It'll-
making the screen on your watch curved would make way more sense
Yeah, it would.
than on your cell phone.
It's going to curve to your wrist.
All right. Well, I think that's a unanimous decision there. Worst item 2013 that made it. So you know what? Let's stop with the negative. Let's talk about some of the positives for 2013. Yes, and there were some great positives. Jace, what was one of your top items of 2013?
I picked the Google Chromecast.
Ooh. Well, now you can pick the Google Chromecast, but before we couldn't. But
Yeah, before it was not very good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it did just basically Netflix in one function. Now it's actually gotten pretty cool because you can actually get, I think they just added Plex to it, which is a big thing. There's a lot of little hacks that you can do this thing too. There's like, you know, just normally like when you use it, anything that's in your Chrome browser or on your Android device, you could basically send from your tablet, phone, or computer to the Chromecast. They've come around now. I think there's a feature that I don't know if they added it yet or if it's just a hack that you can actually stream your whole desktop to the Chromecast. So that's pretty cool. And it's $35. I mean, if you're wanting to play around with it, kind of hack around with it, it's kind of more of a geeky version of really the Apple TV. Of course,
Well, it's a
TV
much
does
cheaper
more.
version as well.
Yeah, exactly. But you get like HBO Go and Hulu and, you know, things like that. They got a couple of cool apps on it. But I think for the price, $35, you can kind of hack around with it. For me, it was pretty cool.
Joe, would you agree with that? Best of 2013? I mean, obviously, when it first came out, it was very limited. And now
when it first came out, it was pretty much good for Netflix, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Now, no, I think it's actually an okay device now. It has a lot more support. Adding Plex to it made it instantly more useful. The price is really, really attractive. That's not to say I think it's fantastic and the end all be all best thing ever. But I do think it especially over the last month or so since the newer apps came out, the newer additions to it, I think it's gotten really, really strong. My biggest complaint still is I really like having a physical separate remote, something with actual tactile buttons. That's why I still use my Apple TV. Is I can't get away from a tactile remote. I can't use my cell phone because I have to look at it. But other than that, I think it's a great device. I have one. I haven't plugged it in yet, but I have one, and I will probably mess around with it at some point. I just, like I said, haven't plugged it in.
Well, please let me know. I mean, I'm neutral on this, and I didn't pick one up because I already had like a number of HDMI devices. I already had a Roku, had a Boxy. I have, the Xbox One. I have a PlayStation 4. I have all these items already plugged into HDMI, so I'm able to get my video content into my TV just fine. And when I saw this thing when it first came out, the app support wasn't really there. So I was thinking to myself, well, what's the point? And now where you have a $35 device that can do Plex, that can literally fit in your pocket. Now I know you need to have the power cube and all, or at least a little USB dongle.
Actually, what they recommend is if you have a TV with a USB port on it for media, you use that to power the Plex.
Okay. Now, if you're
but not all that many TVs have those.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I'm really interested to hear from you, Joe, how well Plex works with it.
Yeah, I'll have to get it out and plug it into something and see how it goes. But yeah, Plex on it. It's got Hulu Plus support, Netflix on it, Pandora Radio, and the one of the cool things Google actually did right with it is it supports both Android and iOS, not Windows Phone. So if you're on Windows Phone, oh well, the heck with you. But all 12 of you out there. But everybody else is in pretty good shape. Android, iOS, and a limited support in Google Chrome, the browser as well.
All right, John. I think it's going to be anonymous. You agree? I mean,
Yeah,
I know you haven't had too much experience with it.
No, and actually sitting there looking at that going,
You're going to pull the trigger on one, huh?
Not for myself,
for
but
who?
that'll work in the my sister's TV, the one that they got from you, correct? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
All you
think I'll
need is an
get them one.
HDMI port. Do you
No.
have Wi-Fi?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that what did I plug into? I thought it plugged
HDMI.
I thought it went in. Well, see, I was thinking that it actually went into a USB through.
No,
the TV.
went in. So,
Oh.
did you see the pictures as I was putting them up on the screen?
Well, actually, you were more on that page when I was looking at it a second ago.
Yeah. So basically, this little device.
Also goes in. Okay.
Now, you gotta love Web 2.0 stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me go back to Chromecast real quick.
But yeah, it
see,
it
it's
just
a
plugs
little-
into HDMI and then it hooks onto your wireless network and you can manage it and control it with a cell phone or a tablet,
Okay.
Android or iOS,
see?
like I
Little
said.
HDMI.
And yeah, just powered off of micro USB, so you can use a cell phone charger, or if your TV has a USB port, it comes with a little short USB to micro USB adapter.
Yep. And you can do it from your phone or a laptop if you're using Chrome on the laptop. Really, really simple and easy stuff. So.
All right. Yeah.
It's sort
I
of
said-
like it's like a really cheap version of an Apple TV. Except it only supports Google stuff,
Hmm.
just like the Apple TV only supports Apple stuff. But
Cool.
All right, Mr. Joe, since we're on you, what's
yeah,
what do you got, man?
what did I put in? Oh, I actually put something in there that didn't come out in 2013 again, but it really came on its own this year, and it's a gaming console.
What? Whoa!
And
Whoa.
I know it's weird. It's not the Xbox One
No.
or the PS4.
No.
It's the Wii U.
Zing.
Because I honestly think 2013 was really, especially this winter season, was a fantastic time to have or buy a Wii U. Some amazing titles came out for it. Zelda, of course, was released. Super Mario World 3D World, which is one of the highest rated games of the year. Just a ton of different really, really fantastic games came out for the Wii U, really brought it into its own and made it what a lot of people recommended as the console to buy this Christmas, not the PS4 or the Xbox One. I actually picked up that version right there, the Wind Waker HD Deluxe set,
As did
earlier this year,
Yeah.
and love it. It's fantastic. Fun games. I've played through a bunch of games on it already, and I can't recommend it enough. It is just a fantastic console, especially with the titles that are on it now. It is really, really amazing. And you know what? $300 compared to the other consoles is a pretty good price.
Absolutely. I'm really in agreement with you there, Joe. I mean, as for we grew up Nintendo fans. If Lloyd was on the show, I bet you he would pick that as well. It's it's one of those things where when you're playing the new Super Mario Brothers in 3D, that game is just like, oh my god, this is so fun.
Yeah,
It's so
it
good.
is tons of fun. It's just
Yeah.
a little bit of 3D, but all the Super Mario you want. It is just a really, really fun game all the way around. And he talked about it when he was on the show last. He had a smile the whole way through, and I was kind of like, yeah, sure you did. And then I picked up the game, and it was like, yeah, you really do. It was great.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Now John hasn't
I
hasn't
can't
played it,
recommend it
so
Yeah.
I don't know if John, you have to remain neutral on this, right? Because you don't know much about it.
Yeah.
Jace, have you messed around with the Wii U at all?
A little bit. I don't own one. I've messed around with one, but the thing is that I actually, from the time the Wii U came out, I was like, I'm never going to buy this thing. But over the last 6 months, I'm like, I want to buy this thing.
Yep.
So I think I'm gonna have to pull the trigger on one too.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic platform. And once you get it, the first game you need to pick is that Super Mario World or 3D World. It is, like I said, got to be one of the best games of the year.
So
Looks good.
I have two picks for best 2013, and there's honestly a lot of good things in the gaming and technology worlds that came down the pipe in 2013. And let's talk about gaming first. And this is one game that literally when I got it, I was playing every day a lot until I ended the game. And that is Grand Theft Auto 5. What those guys over there at Rockstar did with two consoles that are literally at the end of their lives, with the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, and the amount of detail and world size, and it's still going. I mean, they just recently started to introduce, I think, user-generated stories and content for multiplayer play. It is just solid. It is so much fun to play, especially if you're playing multiplayer. I know we held hopes that we would see a PC version by the end of this year. It hasn't happened, obviously. However, maybe it will happen in the future. But in the meantime, if you want to play, you have to play it on the console, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it really, truly is. Had many, many late hours of playing Grand Theft Auto 5. So that's one of my picks for best of 2013. Any of you guys have any? Jace Rossi, I know you have it for the PS3, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Well, I mean, what'd you think of the game?
I mean, actually playing the game, it was fine. I mean, great game. I blew through the whole thing in, I think, 72 hours. I didn't complete all the side quests though. I should go back and do that.
Yeah.
The online is where the experience is definitely better on the 360 for online.
Yeah. And we've talked about the online differences between 360 and PlayStation 3, and that's one of them. That's definitely one of them. John, you never got into Grand Theft Auto, did you?
Nope.
No. Too bad.
Yep.
And Joe's waiting for the PC version.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm a big GTA fan. I think it's great. I love all the other ones I've played. I've had a really, really good time with them. And I really would like to play GTA 5, but I'm not going to buy it on anything other than PC.
Yeah. That's fine. No, it's fair enough.
So it's just the problem with buying it for last year. I would argue the problem with buying it for any console is we saw how far GTA 4 went with user mods on PC. I mean, it reached the point of photorealism depending on your system and what mods you had installed. GTA 5 is already starting from a great place, but on the consoles, it's already dead. It can't go anywhere. It's introduced in last gen's consoles. But on PC, there's no such thing as dead, never going to be updated, never going to be improved. So a game like that with a history like it has, I think it was a big mistake on their part to release it on console, but they did make $1 billion in like 2 days. So I understand why they did it, but I still don't agree with it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't have put it on the best list. I wouldn't have put it on the worst list, but because of how badly they screwed over PC gamers and how much they seem to not care about us, Rockstar is not in my happy list.
I understand. I really, really do about that for sure. I mean, we don't, obviously maybe they're trying to obviously maximize business. People are still buying the game. Now, once the sales start to slow down after the holidays, then they release the PC version and then they have another big push of sales. So
yeah, I think Microsoft and Sony both said, hey, we need to keep our last gen consoles current. What can we do? Hey, Rockstar, here's a whole bunch of money. Release it for those platforms so that people will still think that they're worthwhile.
Yeah.
So
let's move on to a couple of hardware choices. One of them that we got to see at PAX, we got hands-on, and we thought it was awesome. John you put it on your best of 2013 list, and what is that, John?
The Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift. Now, explain to people what the Oculus Rift is.
It's a scuba headset.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
No, that's good.
That's
yeah,
good.
Keep going.
Good. No, it's the VR of the future everybody's been kind of waiting for. It is a add-in piece to PC. There's stuff out there. Already, they have a pretty good list of already supported games.
Wow. Okay.
iRacing's one of them.
Yeah. Well, we saw that at the show. Yeah.
Even though that one was just a ride along, I know someone's point of is like, well, it hasn't hit market, and I go, well, yeah, you can buy the dev unit. I mean, you can still get your hands on it, even though it's not the official at-market piece. But they have a good size. Is that the site that I had linked to?
No, your site was really not showing anything, so I went to this one.
Actually, because it was
just an article, really, John.
No, they had a link to supported games.
Well,
all right, whatever.
You should just give me that link.
Okay, but the it's having two 3D panels. They're trying to push to for 1080 in each one. They're still kind of working on that a little bit, but it's a great piece of hardware.
I mean, one of the things that I'm actually looking forward to in this space is, this wearable technology. And you got the Oculus Rift here, and then you also have the Jerry Ellsworth and her reality system that had made over $1 million on Kickstarter. And then obviously, and one of my picks is, we'll get to that in a minute, but this kind of tech really, really interests me because I remember growing up and doing that old VR stuff with the polygons, and it was just where these really uncomfortable headsets, and it just wasn't that fun. And so now seeing how far technology has come, where we can mess around with these things, it's amazing. Joe, I mean, I know you got to check it out at PAX. Would it make your best of 2013 list?
Well, it didn't come out this year, so I don't think it would be on the list of things from 2013 . But you
when
can
it does come
out,
yeah.
Well, you can get the developer kit, which is
a working unit,
not the same thing. I don't think
it's a working unit.
It's not a consumer-ready product. It's too expensive. It takes some finagling. I don't think it's not the same thing. I mean, granted, if they could sell it, and plus the resolution's really low on the dev kits. So I think the tech is really cool, and I agree it's come a long ways. The fact that it's super light makes a big difference, and they've gotten a lot of community support. You can see on that list is Doom 3, Half-Life 3, Surgeon Simulator, even Chase's favorite game in the world, Euro Truck Simulator, is on that list. Sorry. So I think it's gonna be a fantastic product, and I think it should be, if it's released next year, it should be on our list of best of 2014. If we can all pry ourselves away from our Oculuses at that point, because I know I'll have one. But I don't know that it belongs on the list for 2013. But that said, I do think it's fantastic. I think it's amazing tech, and I'm really looking forward to playing with one and having one. But I don't think it's quite ready for production or for mainstream yet.
Yeah. And they got, there's someone's doing the Minecraft for it. One of the things I'm actually kind of really waiting to see is from the Cyan Worlds made Mist and Riven is working on a new product called Abduction, and they met their goals in Kickstarter, so it's coming out for the Oculus. So that'll be an interesting thing to see.
And I think it has a real future in flight simulators and stuff like that too.
Totally.
I think that's a really strong point for the Oculus, and I mean, we saw it. One of the demos we had at PAX was Hawken, which it worked really well in, and it's totally immersive and tons of fun. But again, I don't think it's a consumer product yet, and it's not released. I can't run down to the Fry's and pick one up.
Well, I mean, it's a product that was really fully pushed and introduced in 2013, and you can add it to your best of list. It's okay.
I think
Sean.
it's a tech that was introduced in 2013.
Yeah.
They haven't introduced a product yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least it's out there in the wild.
Yep.
That's the most important thing, right? It is out there. It is being worked on. They say we should be happy by next year. They didn't say exactly when.
Yeah.
But we should be happy by next year. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, my hardware thing. And I know people are going to blast me on this, but this, I went out earlier today. It's my wife's birthday, and today, and I asked her, "Quick, what's the first thing that pops to your head as one of the best tech or gaming things of 2013?" And she chewed on it, and she said this: Google Glass. And I asked her why, and she basically told me, "Well, you have this wearable technology that not only can take pictures and do video, but how it marries up to your phone or data device, you can access everything through your peripheral. You can have directions into your peripheral and all these different things that are starting to be opened up more and more to it." So I said, sure. I mean, obviously, remember it was introduced at Google I/O, and that was, I think, 2012, I believe, and then it really started being perfected into its own this year. And I gotta say, I mean, I wish I pulled the trigger on one of these, but I couldn't because I just didn't have. It's like $1,500 right now for this Explorer edition, so it is out there in the world. Not a lot of people have them, and no doubt we'll see a lot of people wearing them at CES this year. But I gotta say, for being innovative, Google is trying to do something in that wearable technology space, and you can't say that it sucked. You can't say it was terrible. I know Joe's probably going to say it sucked and it was terrible. What do you think, Joe? Google Glass 2013?
Well, I'm not going to say that it sucked and it's terrible, but I'm going to say that it's not. I guess I kind of get it, but they're not doing what I think they should be doing with it. It's a cool idea. It's an interesting idea. It's been available in some form for a better part of a year now.
Right.
And there's been a hardware update for it already. It's still not available mainstream. You have to either buy an invite off eBay or have a friend who can give you an invite. The hardware is really expensive, $1,500, like you said. And you can't do anything additional to it. You can do what Google has released for it, but there's no third-party app support. There's no SDK. There's rumors that it's in development, but it hasn't been seen. And it seems like it seems like a cool idea that's out there.
There you go, Joe.
Yeah, but the difference is you're not wearing a Virtual Boy around the house or around town.
You couldn't.
Yeah, but plus Google Glass isn't 3D. It's just a single screen.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It just presents itself in front of one eye.
Yeah.
So I think it's got cool potential. It could go somewhere. I think it's been really overhyped this year, and I think in the long run, unless they release an SDK and we start seeing some really cool stuff for it, it's just going to be one of those goofy niche products that is little more than a toy that a few people with more money than sense picked up.
Jace Rossi, your thoughts?
You know, when I first heard about this, some of the things they claimed that that was going to do was pretty cool. $1,500 is a little pricey, I think, for what it doesn't do. The coolest thing that I ever saw someone do was, because it records 720p video, I believe, it was a front man, like the lead singer guy of a band, and he posted a video of him performing at this festival, and you could see everything from his vantage point. I thought that was kind of cool.
But can't you do all that with a GoPro, though? I mean...
Yeah, but wearing a GoPro is a little more bulkier than this.
That's true.
I know Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, one of their latest DVDs that they did, he actually took the footage from his Google Glass and put it in the DVD so you can watch his point of view, which I thought was kind of cool. I think I agree with Joe. It's going to be kind of niche in certain things, unless they release the SDK and they open it up to where people can make different types of apps and different things to it. I think it'd be cool if Chase was the first person to do a podcast from his point of view. I think that'd be cool.
Well, full disclosure here, I had an opportunity. I had an invite code for Google Glass. I just cannot afford the $1,500 price tag, especially now. I just couldn't do it.
And is that going to be the price for it when it goes to retail?
I don't know. I mean, that's just what the Explorer cost is right now.
Yeah, and really, it's that is the biggest impediment, is $1,500. Getting invites, like I said, people are selling them on eBay all day long. I know at least 2 people who have available invites. They posted on Facebook like 3 or 4 times, and nobody wants to take them up on it because it's $1,500 to actually buy the headset. So I think it's going to be, and all the people you named who've shown it off and used it for something are people that I would classify as more money than sense.
$1,500, it's nothing.
Yeah.
That's easy.
For that, you can buy 3 Oculuses.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
too.
very
You
true.
can buy 3 Oculus dev kits.
Yeah.
For
But
that
then it
price.
looks like you're going into the sea, John. So I don't know about that, but no, I added it in. I mean, I think it's I mean, for what it does, it's pretty innovative. I mean, there's not a lot of things that you can wear on your face and have access to information while you're on the go. It's just, the price point is really outrageous. I agree. But as far as tech goes, I have to put it in that best category. We've really seen it come into its own. There's a new edition that just came out, I believe, last month. And so they refined it a little bit more, and there's more things you can do with it. I wish I had one to mess around with at CES, but oh well.
Well, there's also the point of, like, especially here, you can't wear them while you drive. And if you go to a lot of nightclubs won't let you have them on if you walk in. If you go to any of the sports arenas or anything like that, you cannot have them on either. They will tell you to take them off, or they will take them.
Yeah, privacy issues is a whole other issue that needs to be discussed in regards to this technology. But not just that. I mean, there's going to be, obviously we've seen with the Galaxy Gear, you can take pictures from your watch. There's a lot of technology now, and then everybody, of course, has a cell phone, right? So
yeah,
what are you going to do there?
Well, you could always, you put your Oculus on,
right,
and you have your helmet on with your GoPro on it, so you can see what's going on in front of you. So then you can have your 3D augmented reality overlaid what's going on with the GoPro.
Well, I thought about putting a GoPro, or basically for CES, I thought about picking up a GoPro, and I did a contract for somebody, a production contract, so I have some funds that I'm using, and I'm reinvesting those funds back into Geek Gamer TV, and one of those things is equipment. So I'm buying John a monopod to use at the show. And not only that, I was thinking about picking up a GoPro so we can mount it on the back of John facing backwards. Oh, Joe's already got one right there. Yep.
It's the Joe Pro.
It's the...
No, I picked it up for RC FPV stuff.
Yeah. because it's light and it's small and it can handle it just fine.
I actually bought one for our police department at work.
Yeah.
And I liked it enough that I was like, I think I'll pick one up too.
Yep.
So,
and now is that the GoPro 2 or the 3? What is that one?
This is the GoPro 3.
3. Okay.
White.
3 white.
Not the silver. So the silver and the black do I'm sorry. Yeah, the black edition does 4K video at 15 FPS. This one is limited to 1080 at 60 or 30. But it's a good camera.
Totally.
If anybody who saw our pinball coverage, the shot from inside back at PAX, from inside of the playfield on the Tron machine, that was this camera.
Yeah, I was telling Joe, because that thing can shoot 720p at 60.
60, yeah.
And I was just like, I want to put that in the machine. And at first, they were like, well, we can't really find a good spot for it. Like, no, let's put it right here on top of the recognizer disc. And everybody's like, well, how'd you get that shot? And we're like, well, and we were able to sync it up in Final Cut Pro. It was a really fun video.
It's just
really cool.
I mean, it's really surprising how small they are. You don't realize how small a GoPro is until you hold the camera itself, because the case is huge. But you know what I'm going to do with this case? I'm going to go take it scuba diving next time I go scuba diving.
Yeah.
But the camera itself is really tiny.
Yeah.
So it's you can put it in all kinds of places. It's actually
it's got great optics too, and that's the best part about it. So
yeah,
nice. Well, Jace, I'm gonna let you wrap it up for the best of 2013. What do you got, my friend?
I already did mine.
Oh, you did? No, wait. Who did I forget? John Kessler, right?
No.
Did I forget somebody?
No, we did.
We got ours.
We've done everybody now.
We have.
Yep.
Then who?
Yeah. The only thing we haven't done that's the best of 2013 is the new Geek Gamer TV website.
Oh, I was like, who added that? I was like, did I miss somebody?
Yeah.
I added that as a joke.
It's a joke?
I was or
What?
not as a
What?
Oh, John.
Oh my God. I'm oh wow.
no, you
That's
you
it.
mistook
Chase quits. He's out of here. Yeah.
You mistook it. It wasn't. Oh well, it's too
Someone's
late now.
not ducking no
It's
more.
too late now.
Yeah.
No,
it's too late
you,
now.
you can't pull that back. No, on Friday, the Geek Gamer TV website relaunched with a whole new look and new way of getting around. One of the best new things about the website, it is responsive, as I will try to demonstrate live here. So does anybody know what responsive means? Should I explain that to people?
What?
Do you know what, John? Do you know what responsive means?
It responds quickly.
No.
What?
Responsiveness. So let's say, for example, and I'm gonna do this live, okay? So here we are. Yeah, I know. This is how I break things. But here's the website, okay? And then right now it's scrolling through all these stories. But let's say
don't plug in any USB devices; it'll blue screen.
But let's say I'm on a tablet, all right? So I'm going to pull this smaller and smaller, and boom! Did you notice how the interface changed? So all the menus now at the top are gone. And what was this? Someone's called this a hamburger button. I forget who told me that, but basically this button pops up and you can click on it, and then you get essentially this is like a tablet interface, if you will. Okay, so you keep going smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and now it changes again, and then you notice all the stories shift to these tiled stories in line here. So basically, it's responsive depending on the screen size that is viewing it. That's what that means. Okay.
Wow.
But that's not all. Obviously, the other things, the other things on the website that have been really redone is the episode pages. So, for example, if you go and watch, say, Battlefield 4 Christmas, which is what we talked about last week on the show, the video player is now front and center at the top there, which is really nice. And then you have all the show notes here, and then quick buttons that you can click on for what you want to view. So, for example, downloads, YouTube, subscribe buttons. It's all right there. It's very neat, very snappy. And it's still a work in progress. There's a few bugs that I'm not going to mention. It's not perfect, but it is being worked on. And I was comfortable enough to launch it on Friday. So now it's out there in the wild. There you go. There's our 2013 show. That's it. John's not going to be around next week because he will be dead. He will not make it. I want to say a big thanks to this guy right here. He's been a great help during 2013, if not just 2013, through the last couple of years of Geek Gamer TV. Him and his lovely wife, Annie, just been great supporters of us and really, truly knows what community is all about. And that's really important when you're doing something like this. Jace, people are probably wondering what has happened to all the other stuff that you've been working on. Because right now, you're just kind of in this, we see you tweeting here and there. Maybe you want to tell people what is going to happen with you in 2014?
Oh, lots of things. As far as like gamertech.tv, we kind of put it on hold. As far as the shows, we're actually going to be working with you guys on some stuff. I don't know if you want to mention anything yet.
No, we don't want to mention the shows per se, but it's going to be obviously one of the things that we're going to be launching in 2014 is a 24/7 audio stream. Yes. And you might be thinking, well, what? You're just going to replay your shows? And well, yeah, some of them will be replayed, but some of it will also be exclusive content on that stream and also available as an audio-only podcast. So there's going to be some audio-only stuff that you can just pop into your player, listen in your car, on the go, and also through like TuneIn as a great example. So we're developing those shows as well. As Jay says, he's getting back to his roots. He loves to mess around with audio. So
yeah,
and it is easier to mess with. Let me tell you
that it is. It's actually very, very easy to do audio.
Yeah.
One of the things is that we're going to be doing, I think, two. I know I have two show ideas that I think we're going to be doing.
Yep.
One will come in around April. We should make a third one. We will. The shows will probably be released just in audio.
Yep.
We're still flopping around the idea of the studio cam thing. So
yeah. People like to spy, but
they do.
But it won't be released as an audio, as a video podcast or anything like that.
No.
It's just something you can spy in on when the show's live. But truly looking forward to all the big things that are happening in 2014. Really trying to get the word out that we are not just a Minecraft network.
No.
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It just, for 8 years, I've been trying to do something, right? And then, Joe and I, we decided on a whim. I'm like, Joe, all right, if we're going to do a show about Minecraft, if I'm going to start playing Minecraft, why don't you show me how to play and we'll do a show about it? And a lot of people love it. And then they think that's all we do. And I want to show that we're not just Minecraft fans, but we're gaming and technology fans. But above all that, we're community fans. And so I really want to try to push and extend that out there going into next year. Speaking of Joe, my great host on Minecraft Me, you can follow him on the Twitters at Falbey, Falbey. Got one more Minecraft Me this week. It'll be the first one in the new year. That'll be on Friday afternoon. So I think that's Friday the 3rd. Is that correct? Yeah.
Let me see.
Yes. Friday the 3rd at 2 p.m. Pacific time. We'll do that. And should be a lot of fun. And fair enough. Thanks again, Joe. It's been a lot of fun, of course.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention, you can follow Jace on Twitter. It's his name, at Jace Rossi on Twitter, if you want to know what's going on with him, his thoughts about technology, gaming, and what exactly is that Ubisoft poster there over his right shoulder?
Oh, that?
Yeah. Head's cut off.
You don't know what it is?
I can't tell.
Oh, you got to take a guess.
Well, I got to see the whole poster. Oh, it's Watch Dogs. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I just guessed. John Kessler's not on Twitter. He's not on any version of social media.
What?
Yeah. Lucky you.
Lucky me.
He's not?
Yeah.
E.W. Kenny's not real?
No, he's a fake.
It's a fake.
It's a fake. But yes, you can follow him on the Twitters. Not really.
No.
Just don't do it. You can't.
Not
And if you
possible.
guys want to, you can follow me on Twitter at Nunes, Nunes, and at Geek Gamer TV. That's the network. We do the show Sunday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern at live.geekgamer.tv. If you're watching the show live, hang out, because after every show, we take calls and we engage the chat room in more depth. We would love to know your feedback about the new website, the best and worst gadgets and gizmos and games of 2013. So we'd love to hear from you, and hopefully, if you are watching live, you will call in to the show. So, of course, all in great fun. I really hope you guys had a great holiday season, and no doubt have a safe and fun New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Believe me, we want to keep you around for the next year, so play safe, everybody. For Mr. Joseph Falby, John Kessler, our great guest, Jace Rossi, my name is Chase Nunes. Until we all talk again, we are all silent. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
George Carlin.